This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I'm your host, Gianna, and today we welcome Carlos. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So take us back to the beginning. Where are you located? How did your real estate journey begin? And just all the things about Carlos.
Okay. Well, again, my name is Carlos Brito. I'm a native Venezuelan citizen. However, I moved to Houston, Texas about 22 years ago. I started my real estate career about 6 years ago. After a long career in sales, since probably I was 13, I started working in sales. It runs in my family. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. And I started at Keller Williams. My first year was rough, to say the least. I started getting my license on November 2015. And at that time, my wife was pregnant and our second child, and it was a high-risk pregnancy. So she had to leave her job probably by the end of November before I even got my license. And I was in the middle of a career change. I quit my job, and I went to real estate school to get my license. So my idea was to get my license before, or to pass my exam before December 31st, since laws were about to change by the following year. So if I waited until January, I would have to do 2 more classes anyways. So I got my license. I went to KW, started training. I was lost. My background in sales, at least for the previous 4 years before real estate, was pretty much door knocking. I was selling security systems and access control, like cameras and alarm systems, door to door. At a point, we were working with the police reports. We were targeting or property that has been burglarized. So we were knocking on doors with the police report saying this property has been burglarized. We're here to offer you an alarm system and a security system. So that's how we started. Anyways, into real estate, new career, more composed, trying to learn the in and outs. We had some savings, but by the first quarter, we were pretty much broke. And I was trying to, make it through. It was rough. I was the only income in my house. And the first year I only made in real estate $24,000. And that was pretty rough. It took a lot from us. I had to sell my wife's lease. I had to sell my car and then buy a minivan, $3,000 minivan, and started hustling. After that year, I decided, well, I need to redo this and make it more my own. So I started working the same way I was working. At that time, I had about 1,000 contacts in my phone, and I decided to call 10 contacts every day. I don't even know for how long, to tell everybody that I was in real estate. If they or anybody they knew needed something in real estate, well, I was there for them to help them. I got a lot of leads for apartments, leases, things like that people will trust you because they don't know you that much, So those kind of will be money that got me by during that time. However, on the second year, when I started calling, I saw the return. So the first quarter, by the first quarter, I already made what I made the year prior. So by first quarter of 2017, I was already at $25,000. So I told myself, well, this is the right way to go. So the second year, we quadrupled our production. That moment, on the second year, I moved to another brokerage. It was a flat fee brokerage. Um, um, Trying to keep most of the money that I needed. In 2019, I was approached by Jimmy Franklin from the Franklin team and Lois de Armas. They were both Remax. Jimmy was there for about, I don't know, 30 plus years, and Lois was there for about 15, 16 years at that time. We met, and to be quite honest, I wasn't even paying attention to the EXP model. I was more blown away by the Jimmy Franklin president. Before I even was into real estate, I already knew who Jimmy Franklin was because he operates in my marketplace, or at least in the area where I live, which is in Katy, Texas. So he explained to me about the model, and what got me from the model was actually the collaboration, having heavy hitters like that to give you advice and actually willing to give you advice. That was actually a game changer for me. First year into EXP, I made Icon. You can see them there. So 3 years in the company, 3 icons already. I got the last one about actually December, and I got my third icon award. And I went to Vegas to the convention, and I realized, you see that little thing right here? It has the badge, but it has a pin that has a double diamond award. It's a chairman award. I didn't even know that I got that. They were giving free pins, and I saw icons and gems awards. I said, well, I know I'm an icon, so I want to see how much those pins cost. I asked the lady, okay, what's the deal with the pins? I said, well, are you an icon? I told her, yes. Okay, give me your name. So while she was checking, she said, oh, you made double diamond. And I was like, really? What is that? She said, well, that's an award. So she gave me the pin, the icon pin, and the double diamond pin. And then the night of the gala, the award gala, I was looking at the awards. They started with aquamarine, and they were going up. So I saw single diamond, and then I saw double diamond, and then after that it changes to team production. So I guess that was the highest award a single agent can achieve. I believe that's to whoever makes a production of 600 plus a year. So that's what I'm at this point. I have a team now of 5 agents. We have our own office here in Katy, Texas. We're expanding. We have operations, and we have active plans not only in Houston but also San Antonio, Austin, and Dallas. And also, we work a lot on the with people moving from other states, such as Florida. We have a lot of people from Florida moving to Texas and also California. Yep.
That's great. What a real estate journey, Carlos, especially from making $24,000 a year to iconing 3 years in a row. I mean, you've got to be proud of yourself.
I am.
You should be. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. 90% of my business, and that's one of the things that I saw back in 2018 when I was trying to figure out how to advertise for real estate. The conventional way back then was direct mailing, cold calling, which I hate for some reason, I don't know, and pretty much farming, direct mailing and some open houses. That was actually wasn't working for me. So I went to social media and I started using Instagram a lot. And I went to this class from this social media guru. And at that time, to the end of 2018, she said at that meeting or at that conference that any personal brand, which is anybody that advertised themselves as a product or as a service, that didn't connect with their audience on social media through videos, were going to disappear, because social media was about connection and making it personal. So I'm from South America. I have a thick accent, and speaking in public wasn't my thing. So I went to the class of how to speak in public, pretty much. And then I made my first video. I had my Instagram account with, at that time, only 600 followers. Fast forward to 2022, my Instagram account went to 13,500 followers, and that now represents about 80-90% of my business. Last year, we closed on 113 transactions, about $47 million, $285,000 average sales price.
That's great. I mean, what a journey, Carlos. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you said that you had a pretty big team, you feel good about them, you feel pretty successful. So initially, what was the number one reason you went to EXP? Because you said KW was pretty rough on you.
Mhm.
So why did you make that move?
Well, I was at KW, great training. I'm pretty sure everybody would agree with that. It's just that the split was pretty brutal. And I wouldn't mind the split if I had more attention. I was in an office where there were about 476 agents, and I was the new one at that time. So felt lost, to be honest. And so I just moved to a flat fee brokerage where I was paying about $300 per transaction, and I was there for actually a year. And then I moved to another brokerage that had pretty much the same deal. Just I was in a smaller office, and I will have more access to a more sort of like a private setting because it wasn't a smaller brokerage. When I was approached by Jimmy and Lois, what actually got me was having the option of collaborating with so many talented people in the industry. I wasn't even paying attention to the stocks that at that moment were worth about probably $5 to $7 a share. Which is very nice because now my first icon represents about probably $70,000 worth of stocks right now that I have in my portfolio, and I have 3 of them. So yeah, that was actually something that got me thinking. Well, this is something that I actually have never seen before. It's a company as we all know, it's a company created by an agent for agents or agents driven, so that's what got me hooked into this. Now we had our second major event for attraction, and the way we're doing it, since social media is our number one tool for lead generation, and this is about collaboration and give back to our own community. We're doing free classes of social media for real estate agents at our EXP events. So we have pretty much 2 events in one. We have the Motor Explain in Spanish. I think I'm the only one doing it in Spanish over here in the Houston area, so I'm going EXP Latino. And we also had this social media class that we have divided in 3 parts. Social Media 101, how to create content, and we're working on the 3rd one right now that is going to be next month, middle of next month. Mm-hmm.
That's really cool, Dan. You're really involved. You really are teaching people about social media. And social media is huge nowadays, especially you said that you convert quite a few leads from your own social media. So you said before you moved over to XP that you felt like you were alone. You were a little fish without anybody really paying attention to you. And now you're over at EXP, you're speaking, you're collaborating. And that collaboration, is that still the number one reason you're over at EXP, or is there something else you've fallen in love with?
Absolutely. That's what, I mean, it goes with my personality. I think that's what it's all about, what gives me confidence. And I think, people that I look up to, or people that you look up to, they probably have little idea the impact that you have on them, and for example, the people that is on my upline, I have expressed that, but they really have no idea the impact that they have made on my business, because not that I'm going to call them to ask them how to fill out a contract, but if you have a very specific question about business and how to run it, or an important decision, you know that you can count with any of your partners, ESP partners, to ask any question in any state they're at, and you will have a great answer, or at least multiple answers, or different point of view to a specific situation there where you might have a question or doubts about, Yeah. So that's the number one thing that I'm still enjoying about this, and I feel like home. Never been, this happy in the company, to be honest, and go ESP.
Absolutely. Now, you have really made quite the journey from making $24,000 a year to producing enough, having a high enough production to Icon 3 times. So you've got a busy life. You know, you've had to make a lot of sacrifices to get here. What have you done? What is your routine to make sure your emotional state stays healthy? That work-life balance, that, you know, making sure you don't burn out.
You know, I had I end of 2020 was pretty brutal. You know, we were dealing with the pandemic, and at the same time, I had my best year at that point. Uh, we only lost two clients because of COVID, and that wasn't my first time. I believe that year we made about 70 transactions. We closed about 70 transactions, and my team wasn't that big. We would probably had only one assistant and two agents, and one of them was kind of like part time. So it was pretty rough. And my our since we started, we have been working more with buyers than sellers for some reason. At this point, of course, after 6 years in the business, now we're recycling our those buyers that now are sellers and are willing to buy other houses. You know, but you know, when you're dealing with buyers, you have to drive a lot, you have to be out a lot. So for probably 2 years straight, I never had a weekend off, and my vacations were really really short, and my family time was down to pretty much almost nothing. So by the end of 2020, I fell into depression, to be honest, and because I felt, you know, burnt out. I was tired. I was you know. So beginning of 2021, I decided to take at least 3 vacations a year with my entire family. We just came back from Mexico 2 weeks ago. We spent an entire week over there with my 2 daughters and my wife, and we had a blast. And you know, that's how I try to keep the balance. You know, spend quality time with your family. Trying to make sure that I'm home at least before 8 p.m. That I'm already, you know, in my house with no work, you know, trying to spend time with my kids and my wife. Yeah, but you definitely have to keep in mind to dedicate time to yourself and to the families. It takes you, you know, when they speak about sacrifices and what it takes to make it, you're actually not thinking you're doing, because you're like a horse with those things. You're just looking forward, you know, and to your goal. And I wasn't even realizing, you know, the impact that it was having in my business and also in my life. That kind of dedication and that kind of focus on the business, you know. First time ever I actually got an award was actually an Icon Award. Uh, uh, Never been recognized before for some achievement or anything like that. So it actually felt really good. And to be quite honest, we all work for money, even though we love it. But when I first got my first shares, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then as you all remember, they started high rocking, and at a point they were about 160 something dollars per share. I was able to do a new kitchen in my house with those shares that I got, and I renovated 2 bathrooms in my house with that money. So pretty pleased, to be honest. And every time I see, every 23rd, I believe, is when they do revenue share, and I see a check coming in or deposit coming in. It's like whenever you find money in your pocket that you didn't know that you had there. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing, and that money is pretty much covering my mortgage right now.
That's amazing. I mean, the benefits that have come from that award just are endless. And then two, you know, you have to invest in your family. You have to invest in that time away from work to really put in your best side at work. And it sounds like you've got a good balance of that, Carlos. So going back to that, I mean, you are an Icon Award winner. Look at that hardware behind you, 3 times. Because it's great to feel recognized. You deserve to be recognized for it. And for those listening right now, they may be wondering what the Icon Award is. I would love for you to explain it a little more, how much production that you had to get, and what benefits more the Icon Award has awarded you. So, you know, you said it gave you that stock share, and, you know, has it provided anything beyond that for you?
Okay. Well, as you know, EXP has an 80-20 split. But that split has a cap of $16,000 for whoever is watching that doesn't know about the model. Once you hit that cap, that $16,000 cap that you share with the company, you are 100% of commission of your entire calendar for the entire anniversary year until your next anniversary. Uh, Nowadays, the last 2 years, we have been doing meeting that cap the first month of production, which is really good. Then what it takes is another $5,000 on pay to the company per transaction. Once you hit your cap, your company contribution comes down to $250. So once you hit $5,000, then you become eligible to be an icon agent, and that comes with not only that trophy, but also give you the opportunity of getting those $16,000 back to you in a way of stock from the company. First, you get $8,000 by hitting the icon, hitting the status, and then you have to work with the company to contribute with the culture of collaboration in the company. My job right now with the company, I'm interviewing icons, so that is very amazing because you hear this point of view from people, that are reaching this level, which I believe is only 2% of the 77,000 agents that we have in the entire company. So that's a really high award and something to be proud of, and to be able to hear from other people with the same focus and drive to business is really amazing. And then that will give you, by doing a job, you can either be a mentor, or you can do classes on the EXP University, or do this type of job that I'm doing, which is interviewing icons or aspiring icons, and so that will give you the other $4,000. To get the other 4,000 to complete the 16,000, you will have to attend to the EXP events like um, convention and the shareholder summit, which is in I'm going to try to sign up to being a speaker on the breakout sessions at the shareholder summit. I'm going to try to do the social media class, probably for EXP Latino, or try to do both. I don't know. I already signed up. I'm waiting for the next to see what happens.
That's great. That would be great to see you speak at that. So for those that are watching and have just come on to EXP, right? And maybe they've had a similar journey to yours. They've not really had much luck. 2020 was rough, and they just joined EXP. Is the Icon Award something that they can hit in the first year? What is some advice for somebody aspiring to earn that award?
My advice, more than to be an icon, is actually to be successful in your business. Is that you actually have to make yourself available to your clients and commit to what you're doing. The way I guess worked out for me was through social media, and in social media, your audience, which is the people that you already have there, will consume whatever information you're given. So I switched my post from family pictures and probably food pictures or traveling pictures to actually videos of giving information on probably homestead or how to sell your house and how to get most money out of your house. Give people information. And at this point, even if you don't feel that you're good at social media, use your phone and call the people that you have in your contact, your spheres of influence. Those are your first clients. People that family members, those are always going to be your first clients, and have to make sure that you are there for them, actually make yourself available for them, and let them know that you are in real estate. Because if you don't have any listings, that's what something that I used to hear at Keller Williams. If your signing is not up there, then you're a secret agent. But if you don't have any listings, you have to make yourself available in some other ways. Call people, social media now. Good thing about that is now with social media is like having your own TV channel. People that is there for you. So whatever you say, they're consuming, and they probably like it. Hopefully they like it. That's the entire idea. But overall, my advice would be dedicate yourself. I mean, it sounds like a cliche, but it is what it is. I mean, there is no secret way to success. There is no elevator to success. We all have to take the stairs.
And at one point before you were an EXP agent, it was presented to you, and you probably thought to yourself, wow, this sounds too good to be true. what's the catch? And there are a lot of agents out there kind of wondering the same thing, like, EXP, maybe it's a scam. I don't know. These people are crazy. Why are they going over there? What would you say to someone who is just skeptical about the EXP team?
It takes uh, having your mind open and actually look to what's going on, not only in business but in the world. As a whole, the pandemic brought a change at a speed that we've never seen before. And I'm talking about technology. That gave a lot of companies the opportunity to actually test in real life a situation where nobody was outside and technology was the only way to communicate. And I remember a slogan that was running through EXP at that time that was saying, we were created for this, and now that you see people inverting in the metaverse, which is pretty much the same model that we have at EXP, campus that we have at EXP, and actually people buying land on the metaverse because now you own the network, that lets you know that looks like something that is new right now, but we were created in 2009. So that kind of vision from Glenn was something amazing that I'm still blown away. And even people that was not recognizing EXP as a powerhouse, right now they're doing it because we have achieved so much in so little, and it's sustainable. 77,000 agents can be run. You know what I'm saying? However, I do agree that it might not be for everybody, just like everything else. You might like chocolate, I might like a strawberry. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's what makes you, what fits for you. I love the collaboration. I love technology. I love the tools that EXP offers to us. And I also, most of all, I love the collaboration that you can find over here. It takes, they were saying at the convention, it actually made sense for me. Once you're there, you realize that everybody has kind of like the same vibe within the company. We're sharing, collaboration, and everybody's willing to share. Even when you find you come across an EXP agent on a transaction, even though you don't compromise your client's fiduciary, you always kind of feel like a different approach when it's another EXP agent for some reason. That will benefit you to get an offer or something, but however, the relationship is pretty much different than with another agent. It's like kind of like more share, like kind of like we know, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
It's a new culture. It's ahead of its time. Like you said, it's been a part of the metaverse before Facebook was even marketing itself as a metaverse. It's an online culture where a lot of people feel even more connected being online in their own homes with thousands of agents at their fingertips.
I made a post about that not too long when I first joined EXP. I got a call from Jimmy, and then Jimmy brought Fred Weaver and Kevin Kaufman to the conversation. These guys from the podcast, are they here? So having those people, actually 3 weeks ago, I was at a mastermind that was hosted for icons in Scottsdale by Kevin and Fred, and it was amazing. People from different backgrounds doing business different ways, and they were all willing to share that information. That was very powerful to be part of that. And this is what you get by being with EXP. There are a lot of communities and groups that have been created under upline and downline. Not only that you have the opportunity to be part of this community, but you can also create your own community, within your agents and the people that are actually around you. And some people say that all we do is recruit. Only 13% of the 77,000 agents are actually actively recruiting. So the majority of the agents are actually in production. And in some states, we're actually having more production than, the entire MLS in some cases. And I just saw that we outgrew Remax by agent count, making us one of the largest real estate companies by agent counts at least in the nation, which is pretty good.
That's really good. And I know you specialize in social media, so I'm going to throw up your app from Instagram here real quick. And there it is,
Yes.
right here. Make sure you give him a
Majority
follow.
of the Yes, majority of the information that you're gonna find there is gonna be in Spanish. I try to advertise and talk to my community. I'm also part of NAREP, which is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. And in 2020, 2019, I was in a conference facilitated by Freddie Mac, a representative from Freddie Mac. And at that moment, they told us that Hispanic represent about 60% of the home purchasing power in the United States. Meaning, for every 10 houses that are sold, 6 are purchased by Hispanic or Hispanic descendant people, and that's my natural market. So I shifted from speaking broken English to full Spanish, and it worked out. So that's what you will see on my channel, on my social
Yeah,
media.
absolutely. I just dropped you a follow myself.
Thank you.
So, of course. So before we hang up here, I know you said you want to speak at EXPCon about social media. What are some maybe 3 tips about social media you can give right now so that people can look forward to more at EXPCon?
Video or die. That's the number one thing. If you're not saying it, it's not happening. You have to get comfortable or get uncomfortable making videos and talking to your audience and let them know what is going on in the market. Offering market stats is a really good tool. And one of the things, the third one that has been probably one of the largest lead sources that I have been able to create. Before the pandemic, we were doing every 2 or 3 months home buyer seminars. And when the pandemic hit and everybody knew about Zoom, then we did our first home buyer seminar via Zoom. And we went from 7 to 10 attendees in person to 30 to 40 via Zoom. And that created a whole lot of leads and that's what grew our team even more. Our last event that we had was the largest that we ever had before. We had 77 people registered and about 54 attending to the seminar, and that was amazing. We explained the buying process from the beginning to the end, and then we do Q&A, and then we usually do it on a Saturday, and then the following Wednesday we do another Zoom at 6 p.m. for all people that might have other questions. But usually the same day we get probably 8 to 10 appointments already set up for the following week for buyers willing and ready to buy, and start the process. So we were able to fill our pipeline with a lot of potential buyers, and of course, again, main thing, video die, provide content of interest for your audience. Talk about real estate. Don't be afraid of.
I love that. Make sure you follow him. I had the app name up, just rewind the video a little bit. And 13.5 thousand followers is nothing to sneeze at. 3 icon awards. Carlos is doing something right. Thank you so much for being on the Icon podcast today. Of course, is there anything else you want to touch on before we call it quits today?
If you're thinking about joining EXP, make sure you reach out to the person that is actually contacting you about it. Give it a try and see why so many talented people are actually joining this company. It totally makes sense. It doesn't take an alien to do this. It only takes a person that is willing to do the job and to go out there and hustle a little bit.
No better way to say it, Carlos. Thank you for joining us today. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.